Okay, you all, I'm live, so let's get in here. Let's get everything started. A later than normal live stream, but we're going to talk about this deadline that Congress has to pass the debt ceiling tonight that expires tomorrow at midnight. Will the United States go bankrupt, right? Will the United States go bankrupt? Also, we're going to talk about United Airlines firing 600 workers because they refuse to take the jab. So come in, hit that thumbs up. You have Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis Grizzlies saying that if you don't have the jab, you cannot enter and to enter their basketball games. The Memphis Grizzlies gotta have the jab, right? To enter into their basketball games. But like, who cares? Memphis Grizzlies? Like, really? Their basketball games. But like, who cares? Memphis Grizzlies? Like, I just switched my screen. So you all come in. Hello, sweet angel. Come in and say hello. I heard my echo in the background. Hello, hello, hello to you. Hello, you all come in. We got like another 30 seconds before I just start getting into the topics to build the audience. So hit that thumbs up button for me. Show your superpowers. Invite about 10 or 20 more people in. You have superpowers, right? The House has passed a suspension of the debt ceiling. Well, that's to be expected. The Senate won't pass it, though. Um, the Senate won't pass it. We can always expect the House, that's the Democratic Party, to pass things. I can assure you that the Republican Party will not. The Republican Party, when it hits the Senate, will not pass this. And what this means going forward. So, again, come in, hit like, and hit share. Come in the room. Let me adjust my mic. Right? Good afternoon to you all. Hello. Aloha. I'm assuming you are in Hawaii. Hope all is well there in Hawaii. So aloha to you as well. And Cliff from Los Angeles. I love the dollar sign, right? I love the dollar sign. So let's get into the topic, the meat and potatoes. You know, I have been experiencing some pain lately. So I'm really going to try to make this live stream, or my live stream is shorter. Just pop some pain pills before I went live to make sure the pain doesn't kick in as I am live streaming. But we do know that the Democratic Party, yes, the House approved the debt limit. That's not something that's unexpected, right? That's the Democratic Party. But the Senate already shoots it down, or will shoot it down. And so this has to be agreed upon by midnight. Now, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. I do believe the Democratic Party, however, um, I'm trying to see where do I want to start. Let's talk about the House passing this. Let's talk about that first. Thank you so much, XRP. Love that name. Let's talk about the Democrats passing this. Let's get on that topic first. I appreciate your thoughts and concerns and your prayers. Um, just some aches of this natural body. And I won't even say what it is, because believe it or not, as much as I tell people this is something I'm not going to handle through natural solution, I still get people email me natural things. Like, I won't even get into that. But thank you all so much. Thank you. I love that name, XRP, right? Definitely love that. And so what will this cost, even though the Senate has passed this? Let's break that down. Democrats, if they get their reconciliation bill, it won't be because they convenience the American public. That's true that the cost is zero. See, everything costs something. The question I think people should be asking foremost and front up front is what's the repercussions of America, or United States being broke, or officially saying, going on record and saying for the first time the United States cannot meet its bills, bankrupt. So prospects of the bill has saged, and Democrats have realized that President Joe Biden's agenda is wildly over ambitious. They're trying to recalibrate by arguing a generational spending binge really won't cost anything. Yeah, right. Citing provisions to offset spending, Biden said last week that the bill is going to cost nothing. Yeah, right. At a Wednesday news conference, Nancy Pelosi repeated this argument with great confidence. It's not about a dollar amount, she told reporters. Yeah, right. As the president said, it's zero. The bill will be paid for. Yeah, right. White House Chief Staff Ron Klain previewed this line is at the South Conference in New York a couple of weeks ago. The net cost of the Build Back Better is zero. Yeah, right. Trying to redefine the cost of a $3.5 trillion bill as zero must rank amongst the most shameless is mind-bending logic. Now, free is never free. As you can see, the increasing amount already that has happened with the free money, the stimulus, you already see it at your gas, you already see it at your groceries, you already see the cost of living and inflation is what that is defined as. Inflation is when the cost of your everyday living expenses, right, has gone up. Right. And so, yes, they passed this. It will cost something. It always costs something. As thousands New Yorkers, health staff have lost their jobs because they refused to take the jab. And now we have United Airlines that fired 600 people today that refused to take the jab. Now, let me tell you this. These, except the health field in New York, but United Airlines, these companies, they were going to lay off anyway because expecting another shutdown in the economy to happen, um, probably starting in November. So we were going to see layoffs and furloughs anyway. So this is just an excuse or a reason or a logic per se to do it. Splash Spotlight said they would be able to pay it off, sacrificing the lives of millions of Americans. How do you think lives will be sacrificed? Splash Spotlight. And my speech may be a little slurred. I'm still having some tooth issues. So let me know. But let's look at this as I'm waiting on you to type in your answers. I like your feedback, and you all can join in the conversation with your comments. So, what does this debt ceiling standoff mean for your finances and your 401k? And then I'm going to tell you what I predict, right? What I predict will happen. As I see the 1111, this is Moody's Corporation, MCO stock. So I'm going to look at that stock. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you know 1111 are my numbers. Whenever I see those numbers, for me, it means wealth and wisdom and prosperity. So I'm going to definitely look at this Moody's Corporation stock. It's coming down to the wire for Congress to reach a deal on the national debt ceiling before the U.S. Congress run out of money to pay its bills. See, you thought that Americans was the only one that was broke and could not pay their bills. Nah, it's your government. It's your government too. So when you led by a broken system, then eventually if you do nothing, your system is going to break. Your financial world, your financial system. So if lawmakers in Washington, D.C. are unable to resolve the debt limit in time, the Treasury begins paying its bills late, which it will. See, you thought you're the only one that paid bills late. No, it's the government. The government pay bills late too. Have you ever asked yourself this question, that if our government can print unlimited money then why can't they just print enough to pay their bills? I know you're saying, well, it's because they have to vote. No, not quite that simple, and I'll break that down later. Or they have to come into agreement about how much or the limit. No. Lawmakers are at odds about raising the federal borrowing limit or the debt ceiling, which allows the U.S. government to make good on its financial obligations, right? To get your money, she says it's time now to get your money right now. Yeah, they really do need to take it serious. Should have took it serious a long time ago, but now more than ever. So lawmakers are at odds over raising the borrowing limit or the debt ceiling, which allows the U.S. government to make good on its financial obligation. The debt ceiling, also referred to as the debt limit, the amount that the government can borrow people, is now at 28.4 trillion. 28.4 trillion. That means the government owes its creditors 28.43 trillion. Have you ever asked yourself, who is the government creditors? Who do they owe? Now, we're going to just discuss in-house, not outside of the United States, because we already know that Russia and China, many of those countries don't want the U.S. debt now anyway. They're not telling you that. Russia and Saudi Arabia have already made alliances. And so when the United States was called the petrodollar, or it deemed the name the petrodollar after it removed gold from backing it, it was named the petrodollar because the United States military was fighting or backing Saudi Arabia. Now they have Russia for that. No longer need our military, right? So Congress has to raise the U.S. debt ceiling before October the 18th to prevent a first ever default. Now, I'm going to explain this. They very well could raise this before the 18th. They do not need the Senate vote, right, to do it. The Democrats can do it alone. But I don't think they're going to come to an agreement by midnight tomorrow. So this is going to meet all the way the deadline until the 18th of October, which will then force or cause a government shutdown by midnight tomorrow. Right? Now, again, failure to raise this debt ceiling will make it impossible for federal government to keep its financial obligations. That includes paying American citizens, veterans, Social Security recipients, right? So the Republicans raised this debt ceiling under the GOP of President Trump and prior administrations. But they're saying they're not going to do it again under President Joe Biden, who's a Democrat. So we're not even going to say that this is Republican versus Democrat, because all of these special sessions that they're going to have up to the 18th of October to do this, both of them are going to get paid handsomely. I don't see this being passed by midnight tomorrow because, again, it has to go to Senate. Senate will reject it. It's probably DOA, dead on arrival. So what this also means for your personal finances is your 401k. The stock market is going to get bumpy along the way. But it's also connected to the stock. Some people say, well, I'm not in the stock market per se, but your 401k is. Many of your 401k and somewhat pensions, right? Even though pensions are usually the long game, that are more diversified and non-401k diversity, but all of retirement accounts will be affected. So this scenario will put the United States on its track, on its way to the recession, which to me, we're already in a recession, more so headed to a depression. There's going to be a massive disruption, people, in the banking system and financial markets worldwide, just not here. And so I came out on the live stream and I said September 22nd, get your money out the banks. And that really helped a lot of people in Ontario, Canada, because they had the jab mandate that was enforced in. But my question is, because we are also entering a food famine, we still have China's unable to ship their products and foods, et cetera, to the United States. You still have 70 ships that's. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I was talking to my daughter. And so you're going to have the financial markets worldwide affected. This is going to be like again, a 3-week process. I do believe the Democrats will overpower by the 18th to really pass this. But in the meantime, we're going to see all of this happen. It's going to be a catastrophe. So the negative effects will never really be reversed. Do you all remember under President Trump when we had the shutdown, the government shutdown for a matter of, was it a week or two? And you already had military people, federal people that were furloughed that were saying, hey, I can't pay my rent, I can't pay my bills. And that was just like missing a 1 or 2 week paycheck. Under Trump's president of the government shutdown, right? So financial markets, if the debt limit is not raised by October the 18th, people, treasurers won't be able to pay his bills, which means they won't be able to give money to banks anymore. Commercial banks who's already struggling because people now are not able to pay their mortgages or rent, and that money is not flowing or fluctuating through banks. And then as a result, people are getting bad or negative marks on their credit report for late payments or foreclosure. So now they're not paying. That becomes a domino effect because now you have delinquent credit cards it will happen in the meantime, and well as vehicle payments. Right. So now it would be more expensive for the Treasury to borrow money, which would be in a credit rating downgrade for commercial banks, especially. JP Morgan has already said, and I know JP Morgan has said this more than once, that they are expecting a large debt default in the United States. They're expecting a large amount of debts, right? Ships were also stuck at Suez Canal again. Let me pull that up. Wow, let me pull that up because I didn't see that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Lee Pass says credit always went down from not paying a bill. So we're going to see credit begin to plummet. And guess what? As credit is plummeting, I did a live stream on this yesterday. U.S. Postal Service is already saying that starting Friday, there's going to be slower delivery and higher postage fees. So now people that's needing credit help, it's going to take longer, maybe up to 45 days now to get responses because now the mailing from the United States Postal Office will be slower. And you have to mail in your affidavits to Experience, Equifax, and TransUnion. So the more days it takes for mailing or more confusion with the U.S. Postal Service, the longer it takes for your credit to get resolved. So again, the federal government shuts down at midnight tomorrow. The lawmakers fail to approve a new funding budget, which I predict will happen. The Senate and the House will not be in agreement. Tens of thousands of federal workers will be furloughed. Even national parks may be shut down. More mortgages will be delayed, and loan application, again, people, this will affect the financial institutions worldwide. And you already have the IRS, who people have people in limbo and waiting to get their tax refund from 2020 already. Many people still have not received their tax refund for 2020 in this year of 2021. Right? So the IRS will be forced to stop verifying income, people, and social security numbers for people who are trying to get loans, or people who may be trying to keep their mortgages, and they're looking at, okay, can I refinance my mortgage, because we have the eviction moratorium that has ended. And now the IRS are going to be forced to stop verifying income for loan applications and social security numbers, which will delay mortgage, which would then affect who? Real estate. And those persons who are realtors, who selling houses, they can't close on houses. Now, you may not think 18 days is a big deal, but that's a big deal for this, of expansion, for this to happen again. The Democrats can pass this bill without the support of Republicans, but I think it's going to be maybe a 2-week time span. And 2 weeks time for a lot of people to lose out on one paycheck or even two paychecks. One people are already one paycheck away from disaster, and some people are already with a paycheck or in disaster. So again, if Congress fails to suspend or raise the borrowing limit, which is a historic default, this have never happened in history. This is going to be havoc for the financial system. So as Sandra said, Ms. Smith said, this is so smart. This is going to be havoc for the financial system and commercial banks. Neither party has an exit strategy at this point. So this can be a tense few weeks. Again, I don't see this happening tomorrow. I'm planning on live streaming tomorrow, right? So you already have a global supply issue with the food chain. Let's look at that. And this is going to be a nightmare. You think Nightmare on Elm Street, right? And let me get back and forth 1K before I switch the topic and looking at the Suez Canal. Even if Democrats passes without the support of the Republican Party, we're going to see hyperinflation. This passes and this debt limit is set again, another increasing pricing on gas and groceries, because why? Supply and demand for once. When there's a food shortage, the limited amount of shipping of food that you can get in, now the prices have to skyrocket. We're looking at 1929 type depression here. So now you have, and then even with that, I saw something today that the government is raising, starting October the 1st, the Ebt cards. So they're going to give an increase of Ebt cards. And so you're going to have people that still are fortunate enough to work and have jobs now competing against the people that has free government money and an increased amount of that to purchase groceries, and groceries that will be scarce, right? Um, your credit went down from not paying a bill off, and I'm probably went down probably at least 100 or more points, I'm sure. Just one strike will put you down 70 or 80 points. Even a late payment. It depends on how high your credit score when you was in default with just one thing. To be honest, this government is not trying to do anything for us. They want this disaster to occur. It's, you may have not been following me. I may have some new people, but I've been, saying this for months now, that this is going to happen because we are entering into what I call the Shemitah year. Every 7 years, there is an economic reset. So it's no different. They haven't changed the game they're playing. People just never wanted a education on what game was being played so they can get prepared. They never cared about education or financial education. They never cared about being prepared. See, what people don't understand is the word stimulus means to stimulate. It wasn't to stimulate you, it was to stimulate the economy, because they knew people without a financial education would just go out and spend this money and take it as it's going to be free. It won't hurt me tax wise, which is will. We already have people that's behind on their child tax credit for the month of September. They were supposed to receive the payment September the 15th. They haven't received that payment yet. So now people that's receiving the child tax credit will also be late on their payment. And guess what? I just read an article, and let me see what state this was in. That, see, when food is affected, so is public schools. So is public schools. But it's not just about the food that's in the grocery stores. It's the foods that's reaching your child or your niece or your nephew's school. And now the schools don't have food chain to feed the children. So what's going to happen? Again, domino effect. School's going to have to close down. This is in school district in Kansas. I was reading this on my phone. Are already reporting that the school meal programs are running out of food and what workers as well. Square pizza and chicken tenders suddenly got swapped for meatloaf and zucchini corns. American school children and lunch ladies grimace, and now the federal government is stepping in to help. School districts in Kansas cannot get food. Lisa says there in Philly, one school did not have lunch, and so you have EBT that's going to raise. So now you're going to have a battle between working Americans who are non EBT benefit holders and people that have EBT. And if these people that have the EBT do not work, well, while the workers are at work, they're going to be in the day getting what's left in the grocery store. It's usually non-workers and elderly that can hit the grocery stores first thing in the morning because everybody else is going to a job, right? And so in 2011, again, 111 is my number. This caused a global financial crisis for the debt ceiling. This was in the summer of 2011. It called S&P's Standards and Poor's to downgrade the country's credit rating, and which adds more volatility to the market. And the United States credit rating is going to be downgraded again, which means the cash currency is going to lose. It's already lost the world reserve currency, right? And so the U.S. has never defaulted on its debt. Again, the Democrat Party can't pass on this without the Republicans by the 18th, but I do see a temporary shutdown until this happens. The Secretary Treasurer, Janet Yellen, told Congress that the Treasury will be unable to pay all of his bills if the debt ceiling isn't raised. Now, when the debt ceiling is raised, I'm believing that they will do this. We're going to see prices just spike. We're going to see prices just spike. Gas, groceries. You already have non-jabbers that's losing jobs. Now these people 401ks is going to be affected as well. Even people that work 401ks is going to be affected. And probably by November, we're going to see a lot of more school closing because miraculously they're going to advertise that the numbers are increasing. A house is where my daughter works. Only one choice for food selection in her school's cafeteria. And this is what I want to know as I'm at my 30-minute mark. I want you all to comment whether you are watching this now live or on the replay. What are you doing to prepare? We talked about the issues. I want to hear your solutions. What are you doing to prepare? What are you doing now? In the comment section, right? And so stock market will crash, people receiving Social Security, even veterans, that their retirement checks may be halted. Almost 6 million job losses can happen as a result of this in just a short amount of time. This is a fast downtrending roller coaster that's going at fast speed, right? I don't see any more jobs. And as Jerome Powell says, we're never going back to the same economy. And even with that in place, let's look at the people that's getting fired, such as United States Airlines, 600 employees who refuse to get jabbed. So now people that may want to travel out of state, out of that, we're going to see travel issues as well. Okay, your son is homeschooling. Will you have enough food supply to feed your son? Michael Young says, I'm not doing anything. I need to stop smoking and get to work. Yeah, Michael, you probably do. You probably do. So, terminating 593 employees who do not comply and did not request medical or religious exemption. People, the least you can do is request medical or religious exemption before you just, you know, take a pink slip. Those have been helping people. 90% of the carriers, 67,000 employees have been jabbed or transhuman, and about 3% have requested an exemption. So it doesn't give the status on what happened to the 3%. North Carolina hospital system, as we looked at New York, also fired 175 unjabbed people. Hawaiian Airlines has also mandated that employees must comply beginning November the 1st to either get the jab or show proof of negative C-19 on a regular basis. So we have travel that's going to be halted. It may be difficult and slow down for people that can afford to, maybe travel and get out of this chaos. Right? And so let me look at Suez Canal. I said I want to look at that because it's something. Says that back up. Suez Canal blockage. The only thing I see is when it happened in March. I don't see anything current. I did see something on September the 9th, or I see something on September the 9th. Let me try another Google search just to make sure. The last one that I'm seeing is a September the 9th that a big ship got stuck in Suez Canal again. Okay, stocked up on a lot of food. Stocking up on water and dry and canned goods. Okay, working on it. I don't really know what's coming The Second Great Depression must happen to bring about the Great Reset. However, the New World Order of the world has been planned for 50. DG, you are so right. This has been planned a long, long time, and there's no stopping it. So this is the most recent one that I see, September the 9th. A bulk carrier vessel in Egypt, Suez Canal, a crucial global waterway. You know, last time they said that it was because the wind blew it. I don't know how wind can blow something that's carrying thousands of tons. It was a strong wind, right? I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but this is just my Google search that I see. So, as this is going to happen, government money, even if it's passed, it's still not a good thing. More than likely, will be shut down for some days, some weeks. Real estate market is going to crash. They're already working on artificial intelligence to sell houses. They already have robots to build houses for cheaper and quicker expenses. As I already said, jobs will replace people. Wouldn't surprise me if they have robots and things like that to fly planes now that they're firing so many flight attendants. Hello, beer gang tabernacle. You brought my book Monday. Thank you. And Florida State Republic. Thank you so much. Um, thank you so much. One thing I really want to do is get an opportunity to meet people in these different states and things that has supported me in my books. And I also have one, two, three, four, five people that ordered an autograph copy of my book. So these five are personally autographed. Some people were requesting to get an autographed personalized copy, and I did that. And that was $21.11. These are my special pens that I autograph with. It says special pens for special people. And so I have my Cash App strolling down if you all want a personalized autograph copy. And I pray over them before I mail them out as well. Just know that when you pay with Cash App, in the for section on Cash App, I will need you to put your name or the name of the person I'm autographing to and the mailing address. So that leaves me with only 3 more books. So if you want to be a person that receive a personalized autograph copy, I have 3 more, just 3 more available for that. And my Cash App is strolling down at the bottom. However, if you do not want an autograph book as Beer Game, you can also order on Amazon. It's My Millionaire Notes. It's an easy read, and it gives some strategies as well to help you. I was listening to Grant Cardone today, and one of the things Grant Cardone said, right, he thoroughly believes that if you don't have at least $100,000, you're not ready to invest, right? Because he tells people that you need the cash flow to invest, and this is so true. So thank you so much, Beer Gang Tabernacle. And do you have like a beard business or something? I'm just asking because I know sometimes they have those, beard conditioner type things. So thank you so much, Florida State Republic, for your support. I really appreciate that. And again, for those who want to order the book, maybe you want a non-autograph, it is available on Amazon. My Millionaire Notes, and it's 11.11 for the non-autograph version on Amazon. So only 3 more if you want the autograph, right? Thank you again. If that bill, they can now draft our daughters into the military. Wow, I didn't know that. Well, a lot of military personnel are either retiring are quitting altogether. I did a live stream. A lot of military personnel are committing suicide over this jab issue. They don't feel comfortable taking something that has not that stood the test of time, and something they feel like they almost have to be forced at the last minute notice, right, to do that. Gold and silver, sometimes I do agree with that, sometimes I don't, because this is what people don't understand. It's probably going to be March until next year, until this dollar system, until we see Fed coin and or the digital dollar. It's probably going to be March, because March, and thank you for the 1111 super chat. I haven't strolled down yet. Good evening to you as well, DVD Gant One. I always say affirmation on everyone that gives and a super chat and everyone that purchases a book. Um, so I always want you to get a return on your investment as you invest in me in the wisdom, knowledge, education, and information. I have something I'm gonna say about that too towards the end. But this is the thing: gold, silver, and crypto. A lot of people repeat what they hear people say. Gold is almost what $2,000 an ounce. So for the poor working middle class, that's not a um, an asset that's feasible for them, right? The last I looked at gold was 1800. So let's look at gold price. 1700 right now for gold, right? Silver, very affordable for silver. It's around what, $21 an ounce. But this is the thing: you should not be investing, as Grant Cardone said, if you don't have cash flow, because as cash flow, if you don't have cash flow, you're going to have to prematurely give up your assets, and that's even including crypto. Now, as the stock market takes a dip, cryptocurrency probably will too. And this is what they do with cryptocurrency: they control cryptocurrency, whether you want to believe it or not. There's government control, because they want the weak hands to let go of it. They don't want regular middle class people holding generational wealth. They don't want you to play by the rules that the rich and wealthy do. And so what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to cash out on their crypto because they don't have any more cash flow coming in. And they're going to take capital gains on that. And then they're going to be taxed in 2022 with a 30-40% tax, which means they're only going to keep 50 to 60%. So you're going to have some people that don't even have $30,000 gains in crypto. So if they have $10,000, they're only going to keep $6,000. So when you look at inflation and you're going to look at the prices increasing and more kids at home that would otherwise been at school, right? People don't have a cash flow plan, right? People don't have a cash flow plan. True Seeker, thank you, says she cashed out for one yesterday. Let me look, because I had someone to cash out me 1111 for an autographed book, and that's not the price. So I don't know if Carlton Davenport. No, it wasn't Carlton. He just sent 1111. I think it's a he. So thank you, Carlton, for the 1111 cash app. But someone put 1111 and put for an autographed book. Someone sent me a cash app and said, you cannot receive until you release. That is so true. Cameron Lopez is not 1111. You put for autograph book, but you need to send the additional $10 for me to ship that off, because I have to pay the shipping and handling package. So, True Seeker, if you sent that, thank you as well. You should receive that in 2 to 3 business days at the most. I guess UPS has already said that their shipping is slowing down, right? We do already have a House bill for a USD coin. I don't think it's going to come into use until March of spring of next year, because our Jewish calendar. That's the new year. And I think when they are, let me try to pull that bill up. When they are speaking of another stimulus, is when this is going to go into place. The Fed coin, House bill, it was actually released July of this year, 2021, 4471. So it's already here. I don't think it's going to come into play or be of usage until March of 2022. Because remember, we have to wait until China passes out their digital yuan. China is going to be the financial powerhouse of all countries. And so at their Winter Olympics, and that's going to start January or February. So I'm predicting this is going to be March, right? So yes, the House bill is already here. It's already acted. It's already passed. Crypto will do well. And even some stocks will do well as well. You just have to have the stocks that are in the new technology that's going to be used for the new world order. But if you're into stocks that's not going to be used for the new world order and things like that, then you're going to see a stock market crash. But again, for the poor working middle class, this stock market crash is desperately going to affect their 401k and retirement. The West Coast and Mississippi River ports are blocked, and food supplies will not be offloaded for starvation of humanity. And once all utilities are cut, so let me pull that up. West Coast and Mississippi ports blocked. But my thing is, people, this is why I've been telling people about the work from home business. You definitely need. I see the ports are reopened September the 4th. This was due to Hurricane Ida, but you definitely need a cash flow plan and a strategy to work from home. If you own one source of income, even two, I don't care if you are married or in a partnership or you got your boo thing with you, uh, millionaires and billionaires have 7 to 8 sources of income, and they just got there from the Bible. They got there from Ecclesiastes chapter 11 that says to cast your bread, your dough, your money upon the waters. Yes, 7 or 8 sources, because you don't know which one will prosper. If you are on one source of income, one paycheck, two paycheck, you are one step away from disaster. So the lower Mississippi River from the Gulf Coast to New Orleans have been cleared for normal shipping and cargo operations resume. This was lifted late on Friday. This was September the 4th, as transmission lines were removed. So you have to look at the ports that come in from Louisiana once these hard hurricanes happen, right? And the effect that that's going to have on shipping as well into our economy. So again, a lot of job losses, a lot of things going on right now. You need to plan and prepare. And also, as we have the FedEx forms requiring the jab proof or negative test for all Grizzlies and Tiger games, I'm not a big Grizzly fan anyway, so whatever. But you're going to see more of this in the NBA and more likely NFL. And I also thought this was interesting as well. Millions of old cell phone, laptops, and smart gadgets could stop working later this week. And then it says for some weird reason. We talked about the movie Cell with Denzel, and we talked about watching Matrix and of 1999 and watching the Terminator um, 3 and things of that nature. You all definitely need to watch that. So they're saying that internet, old tech devices, um, I didn't trust, as we already had the August the 11th cell phone test through the towers and 5G that happened. This is on September 30th. Tomorrow, as October, the number is the 8th month on the Jewish calendar. The number 8 means the breaking down of old to build a new. So the problems will probably affect devices such as iPhones running on iOS 9 and below, um, Windows. So they're going to make sure everybody have up-to-date phone for this mobile money transfer that's happening for this digital dollar and Fed coins. Even old devices, PS3, PS4 game consoles, Nintendo game computer softwares. And so this is supposed to take place. Apple, Google, Sony, Microsoft, right? Beginning September the 30th. So that's just a FYI, right, for your information. So for the people that have given Super Chat, Cash App, right? And let me read some of these comments. Chris H says, I made so much money this year, $500,000 off stocks. Thank you, Biden. And best year ever. Last year, he said he made 325,000. I don't know what Biden did for the stock market. I don't know what Biden did for the stock market. He didn't do anything to me, but congratulations on your success. Most people that make that much money, though, don't really they have the assets to show it. They don't, like Grant Cardone says, paper to paper money is just toilet tissue money in a sense. So I hope you can take that money and get a tangible asset with it. Matrix 1999 is a document. Yeah, I may do a breakdown of Matrix 1999 and how it is actually predicting and showing of what's happening right now. I really would love to do a live stream on it. That may come next week. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to be covering this United States, economy, and pretty sure it won't pass by tomorrow. They are not letting cargo be offloaded, and if they do, it will not be getting to the people. DD says about Mississippi and New Orleans ports. A lot of people phone I Love Cats have been acting funny. Sure has. Michael, I won't read that out loud, but I won't disagree either. Texas cell phone systems have been dropping calls in the dentist offices this week. I'm not in Texas yet. Prophecy shows last day network overload. I'm not in Texas yet. Prophecy shows last day network overload. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by prophecy shows last work network? Hello, Geechee, or I may be mispronouncing that. Forever. I want to. Can you all give me 5 minutes? Will you indulge me for 5 more minutes? Will you indulge me for 5 more minutes? Because I have been watching The Matrix and dissecting it. If you indulge me for 5 more minutes, I want to share this clip with you all. Let me see if I can upload it. Just give me 5 more minutes of this live stream because I still have to say my affirmations over my givers as well. Let me see if I can transfer this 1 minute clip that was profound. And I'm going to do that from my phone. But yes, the phone services have been disruptive in a lot of areas. The Matrix and the Terminator is telling you, yeah, Everyone is getting rich doing Biden. This is amazing. This has got to be a spammer because I don't know how he figures everybody is getting rich off of Biden um, doing this. And I'm talking about the government is going to not probably vote on a budget by tomorrow, and many federal workers will be furloughed, and the effects of that will happen. Right? It doesn't matter. I've been saying for a long time, red or blue, neither is for you. Both of them, left wing, wing, right wing, same bird. Right? Uh, same bird. Same bird. But yeah, Donald Trump he did pump that stock market. I will give him that. Right. Trump was crazy and Biden is just mentally insane as well. So whatever. Right. But Trump did pump that stock market. And he inflated it, and it's gonna have the thing is most people won't even know that this bubble has burst until it's too late, until the bubble has burst. Right? Yeah, you might as well just know what president is put in what office and what their agenda is, and you study that and you analyze that, right? And you build on that financially because you can make money in the stock market when it dumps, when it rise. You can make money in cryptocurrency when it dumps, when it rise. The key of it all is to get tangible assets because both of them are highly manipulated, right? All right, people, I only have two more books for autograph. I just got 2111 2111 from Cash App. David, coming out to you. Um, David, I see your name. I'm gonna look at my Cash App and see if you. So this is David copy. So I only have two more copies. Make sure you include your name that I'm autographing to and the mailing address as well. Now, this is the thing. Now, David, I don't have your mailing address. I need that. David, you sent. And so, David, you can send that to my email. Email me your mailing address. My email is ld@fixmycreditandcash.com. Let me put that up there for David. So this is the thing. Giving open the way to receive. And then we're going to break down the matrix. Then I'm logging off. In order to create activity and finances, one should give. Tithing or giving 1/10 is your income is just an old Jewish custom, and it is sure to bring increase. This is for the super chat people, the Cash App, whether you gave past, present, or future. Now let me share this with you. This clip. I was listening to Grant Cardone and his interview with Magic Johnson today, and Magic Johnson told Grant something in that stream, and Grant said, "Man, I'm not gonna tell you all what it was because you should have been on." But Grant said, "Man, I did not know that." He interviewed Magic Johnson about how he became from a baller, a basketball player, and to a CEO in the boardroom, right? And Grant said, "Man, Magic, I did not know that." He said, "I'm going to give you $10,000, right?" Magic Johnson went on to talk about how he invested in the Dodgers for like 2.2 billion. Now the Dodgers are worth 5 billion. Some things that he learned from the Lakers owners, right? And the things behind the scene. And when Magic gave him that tip in the broadcast, Grant Cardone gifted his charity $10,000. This is why people give super chats to me, because they value the knowledge, the information. And as I talk about the Jewish calendar, I also tell you why Jews are rich and the secrets to biblical wealth. And see, as the person on my Cash App said, you cannot receive until you release. And Magic Johnson told Grant Cardone this. He said, "Grant, when you give to charities and to organizations and you attend these charities, people automatically assume that you are rich and wealthy because they know that you give money. And when you are a giver, they correlate that with you being a rich and wealthy person. He said, because only broke people don't give. Wasn't that good? That was good, right? I'm gonna share this clip with you all.
Send 10,000 to. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh
tonight,
man,
right?
man, you all right with me? You all right with me?
Let me play that again. He said, I'm gonna send 10,000 to you. Now I took out the part of what Magic told him why he said I'm gonna send 10,000. But this was just an interview. And Grant said, I appreciate that wisdom, knowledge, and advice, and I'm gonna send you 10,000.
Send 10,000 to. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh
tonight,
man,
right?
man, you all right with me? You all right with me?
See,
you know, thank you.
You
I
gave me a tip.
that.
I use it. Okay.
You know, I'll probably give it to a young person that's trying, especially a minority student who's trying to go to college, who have the grades to go, but just don't have the financial means to go. That's what I do with the money.
You pick that person, or we'll find that person, or whatever, however you want to do it. Okay?
There you go. There you go. We'll make it happen.
Okay, done. Okay, and so you gave me a great piece of advice. I'm like, let me use that as quickly as possible. Okay, last thing.
Yeah.
Now I didn't make that up. Grant Cardone said you gave me a great piece of advice. He gave him $10,000 to his charity for a piece of advice on that live stream. Yeah. So a lot of people be looking at my live stream. Oh, they giving $111. They giving $11. That's just the law of prosperity. Grant gave $10K, right? And so many of the richest men in this country have been tithers. I've never known tithe or giving as a failed investment. Right? The 10th part goes forth and returns blessed and multiplied. That's why I get Deuteronomy 1:11. May the Lord, your God, the God of our ancestors, increase you 1,000 times more and bless you. That means it comes more than just with monetary. But the gift of the tithe must be given with love and cheerfulness, for God loveth a cheerful giver. That means even your bill should be paid cheerfully. So for those who have given by the Cash App and Super Chat on this live stream, infinite spirit, infinite God, infinite powers. That means above all powers. No matter what's going on in this earth realm, we operate under an infinite power. According to Revelations 1:11, I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, right? An infinite God. Open the way right now for the people that has given for their immediate supply, and that it comes to them and reach them by divine right now in great avalanches of abundance. That means plenty of money, according to Deuteronomy 1:11, perfect health through this, peace that passes all understanding, provision, even in this depression, for those who give financially. I'm not talking about advice, right? And purpose and direction are going through this, right? And if it's anything more that they need, give them a definite lead. And those for the people that give tonight on the replay or even in the past, if it's something else they need to do, give them a definite lead and let them know if there's anything left for them to do. Because the Bible says to ask and you shall receive, but you can only receive after you release, right? It is levels to this. And with that being said, I said I was going to share the matrix. As DVD, you got in at the 7-11, the number 7 means divine transition. September means Sept, the 7th month. We're going into 8. The 8th month, which means the breaking down of an old to build the new. Now, October the 18th, 8 plus 1 equals 9. The 9th hour, Jesus died on the cross. He gave up the ghost. He ascended to descend again in power. That's where we get rest and power, right? October is going to be the month of the breaking down of the old economy to bring in the new economy. And the new economy is going to be crypto and certain stocks, but definitely cryptocurrency, right? But God's economic system is never man's economic system. Giving a tenth returns to you blessed and multiplied. That is never, ever a failed investment. Ever. Not giving to people as you see fit. Not giving to people every now and then, but giving a tenth to the Lord and to the people that teaches, right? And so I did say I want to share something with the matrix that stood out to me. And I'm logging off. This is like a 1 minute clip. Let me see if it uploaded on my website. I mean on my YouTube page. Video. I'm going to share this with you. So I'm telling you what's to come. I told you how to plan. You need to have a plan to make money from home. You need cash flow. And you definitely need to give into God's economic system, right? DVD, see that 333. Michael Young, thank you. Says hit that like button. Please hit the like button, whether you're watching this live now or on the replay. The Cash App gift, just received that. And yes, D says 3 things the IRS won't touch: trust, 501c3s, and foundations. 501c3, I'm definitely establishing a new one. I just told my spiritual leader that on the phone for 2022, right? I'm establishing, now I have the LD with my Cash App, but my Cash App is going to transform into a new 501c3. Because what I want to do after I heard Grant Cardone and Magic Johnson is help youth and build a 501c3 organization for youth in the area of academics and athletics starting next year. Because I know a lot of the public school systems will fail. A lot of kids are going to get behind educational wise. And we're going to bring in that technology. Education is shifting in technology, and I want to have the high-tech technology in place. And I'm going to establish a 501c3 for that. So I'm going to share this with you.
Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about? The Matrix. Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes.
Did you all hear that? He says you can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, and when you pay your taxes. You don't have a tax plan in place? Let me tell you, I have 84 people right now in my home-based business, tax strategy business, online that I do from home. And I'm telling you, by January 2022, when people see that child tax credit have taken their taxes, when Biden implements the Cash App, the Venmo, the PayPal, and when the $600 transaction is earmarked, people are going to be in the matrix of taxes. Say you feel it when you pay taxes, when you go to work, when you go to church. You need to visit this website because you're going to need this tax strategy. Let me tell you, next year for 2022 for my home-based business, I'm going to have over 200 people in all because people don't know what they don't know, but it's going to hit them like a ton of bricks. These taxes on the poor working middle class. The bank squeeze you like a sponge. Every last drop of interest causing your credit score to work against you and not for you. Big business, what you all don't know, big businesses can increase the pricing at any time on food, gas, and services. Right? which is going to happen. We're going to have hyperinflation. The government reaches to your pockets a paycheck and take a third of your hard-earned money. This is what's happening. Well, guess what? They're going to take even more than a third. And I tell people for $228, people, just $228. That's the cost of a corporation to get incorporated. Some states it costs more than that in California and Texas. You can have a tax strategy, tax shelters in place. So I already know that my business, home-based business, is going to triple come January 2022 because a lot of these people have to see. You just can't tell them. They from the show me state, Milwaukee. They have to see that tax bill hit them like a ton of bricks. Because if they don't get in the home-based business now, we only have 3 more months for 2021. They won't have any tax strategy for going into 2022. So when they file for their taxes by 2022 for this year, and they're going to see either they lost thousands or they owe thousands, especially people that's trading crypto and stocks. And they get their 1099 in the mail, or people with bad credit that have charge-offs on credit cards that they're not paying, and then they get their 1099 in the mail because now that has to be reported as income. It's going to hit them like a ton of bricks. They're going to lose thousands or end up paying back thousands. And I'm talking about people that thought they were going to be crypto millionaires. Now they're going to be knocked down to maybe thousandaires or hundredaires. So Marika gave the 4444 on Cash App. Let me make sure I have your name correct. Miranda Harris. The number 444 is a very special number. It is said that Jesus' death and 30 AD, that's after death, corresponds to Nisan 14 in Hebrew year 3790. This means that his entire ministry, Jesus' entire ministry, lasted 44 months and 4 days. Right? Hebrew years 3787, 3789 had 13 months in them. That's 4 days. And 44 years, that's the numbers 444. It is said that Jesus' ministry was started on September 11th. And so 444 relates to Jesus' earthly ministry. And what I mean by September 11th, people, that's the 26th AD, the Day of Atonement, 26 AD. So it was the start of Jubilee year in 26 AD. Isaiah 61. Jesus' first recorded public address, he links his ministry to this special period of liberty and freedom. So in short, Miranda 444 represents liberty and freedom, as she gave the 4444 Cash App. And that's my special breakdown of numbers for you. So thank you all for tuning in. I hope that matrix helped you, but that was in the matrix of 1999. He said taxes, church, and work. If you never watched anything, you need to YouTube how to outwit the devil. Now, I really, is that the name of it? Yeah, how to outwit the devil, right? And this was Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill. This is something, it talks about how religion, churches, government, taxes, and school are all used to brainwash and manipulate people. Outwitting the devil, the secret to freedom and success. This is from the author of Think and Grow Rich. I promise you, if you listen to this, it will forever change your life. It will open up your pineal gland, your spiritual eye, your third eye as well. Hey, I'm signing out. Listen, magnify your mind, manifest with your mouth. The power and life or death is in your tongue. Multiply your money, give, and it shall be given unto you. In good measure, pressed down, shaken together, shall men give unto your lap. And maximize your mission, people. Be blessed to bless and help others, right? Gary says, I always felt like Neo, no lie. Neo is the anagram for the word one, right? It's an anagram, a mixture of words. Also note that Neo was in room 101 and Trinity room was 303. I won't even break down, but you know the number 3 represents the Trinity. And I'm not talking about the Father, Son, the Holy Ghost. The Matrix shows you that there was a masculine female energy in the Trinity that been left out of King James and mistaught for years in religion. They made it men Trinity. It's a female in the Trinity as well. Female spirit, masculine. That's why in Revelations you see more of the woman masculine spirit talked about in Revelations. And in Genesis it talks about, because listen, God called Adam, he looked at man and female as one, right? Adam called Eve, Eve. God didn't name Eve, Eve. So it was always God, man, and woman. Because when he made Adam, the two was in one. It was always spirit, man, and woman. I'm probably getting too deep for y'all, but the Matrix revealed that too. Bullish says, second time I found you. I wanted to know if you meant to take your money out of bank by September 22nd, just passed. That was my birthday. That's just the day that I was given that day, September 22nd. We're talking about the collapse of the financial banks worldwide. If the government does not pass this bill by midnight tomorrow to raise the U.S. debt ceiling, I do believe the Democrats can pass it by October the 8th. However, there will be a crash in financial institution if it's not passed by midnight tomorrow up to October the 28th, as we have exactly 122 people live. And so that helped a lot of people with Ontario, Canada. It still helps people today if they haven't done it, I think. And because with them in the Canada, they passed a mandate for the jab that everybody had to have the mandatory jab by September 22nd. And at the time that I live streamed, I did not even know that. And so that wasn't helping them. A lot of things about the double 22. Read Daniel 2 and 22. It talks about the hidden things, right? The hidden things that will be revealed, right? And let's look at this last one. We just discussed that people wouldn't be a bad idea to get your money out now, because if this debt ceiling is not raised by tomorrow, which has to be passed by the Senate, which more than likely the Senate will not agree on this. But again, Democrats can definitely agree on this by October the 18th without the vote of the Senate, right? And let's see, 22, 22. Do I want to pull up Daniel 2 and 22? Let's talk about plans. Let's look at Luke 22 and 22. Let's look at Luke 20, 22. The plans of the evil, right? The plans of the evil. The Son of Man will go as it has been decreed or as it has been planned. He must die. But what sorrow awaits the ones who betrayed him? Listen, this economy is going to go the way it's supposed to go according to Deuteronomy 15 and 12, according to Luke chapter 25. It is going to go as planned, as decreed. And a lot of people, it is going to be sorrowful. As Daniel 2 and 22 also reveals, that he reveals the deep and hidden things, talking about the Lord. He knows what lies in darkness and what light dwells within him. So this was just a forewarning for people, 922, because I know what lies in darkness, right? I know what lies in darkness. The woman in Revelations also represents the tree of life, and there was also a woman of deception in Revelations as well, right? So there's a masculine energy. Look, God is not male or female; it's a spirit. A lot of time, God refers to as a masculine energy. That's why it is often referred to as He. But if you look at Revelation, right, the Redeemer, and you also need to read the parable of the lost coin. One of my spiritual friends brought this out to me, that oftentimes you read about the parable of the lost sheep, the parable of the prodigal son. Nobody ever teaches on the parable of the woman who found the lost coin. The revelation that women will give in this season. Also, look out for the transfer of power to Kamala Harris. Joe Biden will not fulfill the entire 4 years. You're going to see a transfer of power, a wealth movement with women that religion has suppressed and oppressed for years. So you're going to have two voices of women. There's going to be one of a truth and one of deception, according to Revelation. And a lot of religious institutions that have oppressed the woman for years are going to see the rise of the wise woman, the woman with the parable of the lost coin. And the truth about the woman and the Trinity will be exposed. That's why the woman that wrote the Matrix was a black woman. She had the revelation. Let's, you know what? Let's look at Revelations 22 while we're talking about it. 22. I would want to do Revelation 2 and 22. Revelations 2 is 22 is talking about the United States, actually. It's talking about the United States. It says, so I will cast her on her bed of suffering, United States. I will make those who commit adultery with her suffer intensely. Other countries that have abided in oppressing people through the monetary system, unless they repent of their evil deeds. Then I will strike her children dead, and all the churches will know that I am the one who searches the minds and hearts, and I will repay each of you according to your deeds. There is a repayment that the United States has to pay. There is definitely a repayment that the United States has to pay. But then you have Revelations 22, right? The tree of life, the masculine woman, not the deceptive woman. And our religion and our churches, there's 2 and 22 who have suppressed the woman. They're going to be judged as well in religion. So in the midst of the street of it, on either side of the river, was there a tree of life, which bare 12 manners of fruit, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nation. A woman wealth movement is coming for the wise women. It is coming at the hands of a woman. And you're going to see a transfer of Kamala Harris, right? You're going to see a transfer of power. She's going to be the first woman elected, non-elected president. Because after this gets so bad, they're going to ask for Biden to get out, right? And so all of these religions that have suppressed the woman, oppressed her, will be judged as well. So you all have a great night. Women, get your wealth up. Use wisdom in this season. The parable of the lost coin will tell you that. No one teaches on that. But there's going to be a wealth transfer to women too in this season. All right, you all have a great night.